Hello to all you students as well. I'll once again introduce myself. This is Swati Singh Lafnan. I'm here to guide you regarding the science and technology aspect of UPSC Civil Services. Okay, so do you guys, I'm hoping that you guys have gone through the syllabus aspect, or you do know about the aspects that are asked in the exam. But still, as a faculty, as a teacher, it's my responsibility to briefly tell you what are the things that UPSC expects from students. Any competitive exam, I'm not talking about just the UPSC exam, any competitive exam that you take, that it is conducted in the country, the first and the foremost things is two things. One is the syllabus, and second is how are the questions being asked. If you don't know the mindset of the examiner, then you will keep studying. You will read everything. You will put in a lot of hard work, but you will not know what is the expectation of the exam. So here in the competitive exams especially, and also with respect to UPSC Civil Services, there is so many things that you have to study. But then you have to narrow it down to what is the requirement of the exam. Okay, if you don't know the requirement of the exam, you will not be able to excel in that. Like we are saying, Excel IS Academy and we are focusing on excellence of it. Okay, so first thing first, what you guys will do, you guys will go through the syllabus word by word. Every word that is mentioned in the syllabus, it should be clear to you. Not only with respect to science and technology, with respect to all the topics. Okay, whether it is history, geography or polity. Okay. Then second of all the previous year paper, especially the past 10-year paper. Okay, how are the questions asked? Whether they are current affairs based or they are static based, or it is both of them. Okay, so even if the questions that are asked, whether they are coming from very trivial topic or it is coming from any topic which are a lot in headlines, or what is important for the society. So from which criteria or which background the questions are coming. So first two things that you all, or that is my expectation from you all, is going through the syllabus very thoroughly. Always keep a copy or a printout of the syllabus with you. Anytime you start studying a new topic, you have to know what I am getting into. Okay, and then the second thing, to understand the mindset of the examiner, you have to know the type of questions that are asked. And with respect to UPSC, previous year paper is a gem. It is like a gold mine for us. Okay? It will, I'll tell you in the upcoming session also that how previous year paper help you solve questions of the next year. Okay? So never underestimate that. Okay? So starting from the science and technology aspect, you know that we are in an era of science. Okay? So how can UPSC be behind it? Okay? Behind in this aspect. So UPSC actually expects us to be a responsible citizen and an aware person. It does not want us to be specialized in a particular criteria. It's not like science and technology is given, I am coming from the arts background, how will I able to cope up with that? No, they want you to be aware of everything that is going on around you. Like you must have heard a lot about artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, Metaverse. Metaverse, the question was also asked in this year's UPSC. So everything that is going on around you, you must be aware of things, and a little more than a layman. Like a little more than a common man, you should know and you should be very well aware of it. Okay, so coming back to the science and technology aspect of it. So what are the questions, number of questions that are asked, and how to move forward with it. See how many questions are asked in UPSC prelims. There are two papers, GS1, GS2. In GS1 again, it is, in that you have to bring the merit. In that 100 questions that are being asked, on an average, like 8 to 10 questions are asked. Sometimes it can be more, sometimes it can be less. But on an average, if you look at the pattern of last 5 to 10 years, 8 to 10 questions are asked. And the catch for science and technology and smaller topics is that minimum effort and maximum result. ठीक है, with respect to, bigger subjects like history, geography, you have to kind of put a lot of effort, read and revise again and again. But with respect to science and technology, the syllabus, here we cannot define the syllabus, but then if we properly target things, then in smaller amount of time, smaller amount of effort, if you are able to, target science and technology, even if 10 questions are asked, at least you will be able to solve 7 questions, 6 to 7 questions very, very correctly. Okay? And then, obviously, one mark is important in the exam. Okay, what was the cutoff last year? Anybody knows? Last year the cutoff was 75. Okay? Though it is said that it is very low with respect to the previous trends, but because the pattern was changed and the type of questions that were changed, the cutoff was low. But I would always suggest never look at the fact that what will be the cutoff, but every time, because the difficulty level changes, the cutoff keeps changing. You be always focused on your preparation and resolving your answers. Okay? So here in prelims, on an average 8 to 10 questions means around 20 marks. Okay? Even if not, let's say maximum 20 marks, at least we will be able to score 14 to 15 marks if we answer correctly or if we are prepared thoroughly. Okay? Then again in mains, it is approximately 2 to 3 questions, around 50 marks or so. We will be able to, sometimes it is maximum 50, sometimes it can be 35 or somewhere in between 35 to 50 marks. Can anybody tell me in which paper is science and technology a part of? Science and technology is a part of GS3. We have how many papers? In the mains, I am talking about the mains. We have the first one, that is paper 1, that is essay. Paper 2 is GS1, which is your history, geography, world and society. Then paper 3 is GS2, that is your polity, governance and all those aspects. Then comes the paper 4 or GS3. In GS3 comes your economy, your technology, your environment, your security and your disaster management. So if we think from the perspective of the mains, then in mains examination, apart from this economy thing, the small topics that are there, that is of technology, disaster management and security, this have very small syllabus, but it gives you a maximum output. Okay? So I will suggest not to completely skip it and not to reduce the importance of it. Every topic that is mentioned in your syllabus is as important as all the other aspects. Okay? So moving forward, so 250 marks is for GS3. For mains, even if we are able to target 30 marks, 30 to 35 marks, see, even if you know a little about that particular topic, I am very, very sure by the period of time you keep studying and keep moving forward, you will have sufficient data to at least write something about that topic. Okay, so we are not targeting that if the question is for 10 marks or 15 marks, full marks you are never going to get. In answer writing, you cannot get full marks. You have to give maximum, so you will get at least 50% of the marks or 75% of the marks for that particular question. Okay, your target should be to at least write above average answers. So if you go through all the topics, your class notes and whatever current affairs aspect we provide you, then you will be able to write a good answer. That means an above average answers. Okay? So you will be able to, I am very, very sure you will be able to target at least 30 to 40 marks in your science and technology. Okay? I am sure you are aware of this. You have GS4, that is ethics, integrity and aptitude. Apart from that, you have to choose an optional syllabus, optional subject, which will have again 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Then again finally you have your interview. All the GS papers that you have, all are for 250 marks. Okay? So yes, coming to the main aspect or the main topic for which we are here, that is GS3. In mains, under GS3, the UPSC has provided proper syllabus for it. So please, if you don't have it, either download from the UPSC's website, or if you want, you can take it from here also. We'll provide you the PDF for the same, for the syllabus. So every word that is mentioned, this is the syllabus of your GS3. So what are the things that are mentioned by UPSC? That means that is their expectation from us to read this and come for the examination. Okay, but okay, current affairs is again very wide. Anything that is coming in current affairs, we have to take an extra effort to understand that. Okay, so here science and technology development and their application and effects in everyday life. See, if you relate it with other papers also, society or its anything, any technology that is coming whose impact will be huge on the society or on the lives of the people, okay, that very surely UPSC will try to focus that, okay, because why? We are getting into civil services, we are not getting into any technical services, we are getting into civil services. So any technology which is coming which has a huge impact on the society, very likely that aspect will be focused by the UPSC examiners. Okay, so like we had COVID-19. Okay, on COVID-19 again there were several questions that were asked with respect to vaccination, with respect to the portals that the government brought. Like CoWIN was a portal that the government brought, Arogya Setu was one thing. So there was this UPSC prelims questions on the basis of that. Okay, so anything that is happening which is having a wide ranging impact on the lives of the people will be focused in the examination, and that is what they are mentioning. Any kind of development that is happening and applications of it and its effect in everyday life. Okay. Then again, very important, achievements of Indians in science and technology. Okay. So throughout time immemorial, historical times also, India has been at the forefront of science and technology or development, whether it was in the olden time astronomy or anything. But right now we are not talking about the historical aspects of it. If so, that will be a part of your history. Okay, here in science and technology, any new thing that India is developing, or any Indian researcher or Indian scientist who has contributed a lot for the development of science and technology, that question can also be asked. Like I think in the past few years, there was a question on MS Swaminathan and his contributions. So MS Swaminathan sir was a person who contributed for the Green Revolution. Yes, for green revolution and agricultural development, farmer welfare. So again, wherever there is a wide ranging impact, like agriculture is still a very important sector for India. So anything that will have a relation with the society or which has a wide ranging impact, something related to that will be asked. Okay, like there was in the same question, I think, with respect to MS Swaminathan as well as Vishweshwaraya. Okay, so this question was asked about their contribution. So in future, if suppose there is any new research or any particular Indian scientist or researcher is constantly in news, they might have contributed in the past few years. But if it is recurring in the newspaper or people are talking about it, highly likely that it will come in your examination. See, your UPSC examiners are not people who are out of the society. Okay, they are people who are part of the society. They are reading the same newspaper that you are reading. It's not like they are reading some different documents which you don't have access to. Okay, they might be reading obviously, but just telling you, they are part of the society. Everything that is going around, they are also reading the same thing. You just have to up your game and take an extra effort to kind of be aware of everything. Okay, have basic awareness. Don't go in your shell and be like, I have to study. No, you have to be open. You can get knowledge and information from any aspect of your life. Maybe you're walking to a shop or you're walking somewhere, you see something, there is some news that is going on and it can click you. Okay, this can help me in the in my UPSC preparation. So be very, very aware, don't be very, very secluded in your preparation, okay? Have an open mind towards this preparation, okay? Then again, what is meaning of indigenization of technology and developing new technology? Indigenization means rather than being dependent on the import of technology or whatever technological developments that are happening in other countries, rather than being dependent on that, India should develop its own technology or its own manufacturing. So that is indigenization. Like for example, if you take your space sector, okay, ISRO is doing exceptionally well in that. It is at one of the forefronts of space technology and research. Like you must have seen the Chandrayaan. Okay, India has been one of the first countries to land on the South Pole, right? So it is such a big achievement. So should we not, as proud Indians, be aware of it? Yes, but then you are preparing for civil services, it is going to come in exam, so you should be extra aware of all the aspects that are there. Then again, Aditya L1, which was launched by ISRO, Aditya L1 is for your solar mission. So all these bigger achievements that are happening around us, you should focus on that. Again, indigenization, with respect to indigenization, India is also emphasizing on defense development. Like whatever defense sector we have to ensure that rather than depending on other countries for our defense equipments or for or the warfares that we have or the weapons that we have, rather than depending upon other countries, India should start building them or manufacturing them within the country. Okay, so that is here again indigenization of technology. So see, because this is mentioned, any technology which India develops on itself rather than importing, it becomes very important. Okay, so be very aware, like whether I'm not saying that import is also bad, okay, or it might not come in exam, because Rafale, have you heard about Rafale? The fighter jets that was in news, so that it was not developed in India, it was a partnership, but then that is also important. But if India is doing anything on its own within the country manufacturing any new technology, we must be very, very aware. It is mentioned in the newspaper, your bulb should just turn on like that and you should be, just read it very, very carefully, okay. And don't worry, like, obviously whatever things are there in the current affairs, we will surely provide you with all that content, and we'll also tell you what to read in the newspaper and what not to read in the newspaper. Not everything that comes in the newspaper is important, okay. There are a lot of things that goes on in the newspaper, right? It is not important for our exam. You must be very, very focused, okay. You guys have limited time, 24 hours, in which 7 to 8 hours you have to take rest. Then rest of the time, so if you narrow it down, you have limited time. In that limited time, you have limited energy, so you have to try to kind of rationalize it, okay. So in newspapers also, we will give you a list of things that are important, which is not important, okay. So again, very important, awareness in the field of IT, that is information technology, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology. Biotechnology again is a very important topic. If you ask me that, ma'am, science and technology is there, in this which topic is very, very important, then I would say biotechnology is very important. Biotechnology and also space technology and IT, but again it is inevitable. We were at this aspect, so whenever what I am saying is, whenever you cannot understand any terminology in the examination, because constantly research keeps happening, constantly a lot of things are changing and you cannot know what UPSC is going to ask you, okay. But what you can do is, from your basic understanding or basic knowledge of words also, you can come to a conclusion. There was a question I remember that was asked, it is somewhat related to environment also, that is greenwashing. Okay, green washing that we do. Okay, so what is brainwashing? Brainwashing is, you try to put your opinions on others and constantly try to influence their opinions and persuade them to think in your direction. That is brainwashing. Greenwashing is nowadays, all the companies that are there in the market, everybody is like, oh my god, we are so environment friendly. We are, doing so much towards protection of environment. We are green industries. Okay? So they try to persuade people into telling that we are environmentally friendly countries. But in, in reality, they are not so. They are just greenwashing. Like we are brainwashing people, they are greenwashing people. So even if you don't know correctly what it means, on the basis of the options that are given to you, whatever on the basis of this, word relation or the word play you can do, you can finally come to a conclusion. So apart from knowledge, you have to develop this, logical reasoning as well. And that is why logical reasoning is also an important part of your GS too. Okay? So try to develop that skill apart from your knowledge. Okay? So coming to this fields we have to read thoroughly. All these aspects of information technology, we have information and communication technology, we have 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and it is being, the generations are changing through the times. Then again you have this metaverse that is there. You have augmented reality, you have virtual reality, which is making not even, lives of people very, very easy, and with the help of technology, things are, time saving also. Okay, so everything that is impacting the society will again be important. So again, space technology, computers, your supercomputers and all. Okay, so India has several supercomputers, one of them being Param. Okay, so we will read that in detail. Now coming to intellectual property rights. Again, they are being mentioned in very clarity here. There are several intellectual properties that are there. Like your copyrights, your trademarks, your traditional knowledge, your plant varieties that are there. So all these things, there are some 6 to 7 list of intellectual property that is there. So anything with respect to IPR, or to understand thoroughly what is intellectual property, what does it mean, what is the importance of copyright. If we don't have copyright, then what is the problem? Is there any international convention that is there? You have Berne Convention for it. Okay, so is there any international conventions that are there with respect to intellectual property right, or is there any law in India, or what is the government doing? So everything, this word is your keyword. Anything, what it is, what is India doing with respect to it, what is happening in the world with respect to it. So, what are the implications of that? Why should we have it? What is the application of that? So, all the questions that, come to your mind, what, when, how, where. So, all those aspects you have to focus. With respect to all this keyword, I am not only talking about IPR. Okay, all the keywords that you have to kind of try to ask these questions and figure out, because the question is, some of the question, let's say UPSC ask about, what is this technology and how will it help. So if you are having overall perspective, will you not be able to answer it? Yes, so you have to have a broader understanding of things. You don't have to do a PhD. Please understand that you do not have to be a specialist in the field. Whether it is history, you don't have to be a historian. Okay? You don't have, if you are reading science and technology, you don't have to be a scientist or a researcher. Okay? You have to have a good understanding of the subject, that you can explain it easily to the other person. That's all is needed. Okay? Now this is briefly the syllabus of it. Okay, broad sector. With respect to prelims, see, UPSC has just mentioned general science. UPSC, in prelims syllabus of UPSC, if you go and download or you see, UPSC has mentioned general science. So in general science, there is a lot of it. Okay? You cannot just keep reading everything that you have read since childhood, or you cannot keep reading everything around. So we have to narrow it down to broad sectors of it. Okay? So here, depending upon the syllabus, I have noted down some of the broad sectors that we can focus on. Then first is general information, like your biology, chemistry, physics, whatever basic information you are having. Let's say we are talking about nuclear power in India, or let's say India is trying to develop a new nuclear reactor or some development in it. So if you don't know the basic of nuclear power, let's say you don't know the difference between fission and fusion. Maybe you might have read it as a child in school. We all have read it, but we all have forgotten with time. Okay? So you always have to revise things. So yes, basic revision of basic or the basic information that is there, you have to please thoroughly be aware of it. I am not saying everything that you have read, but at least the things that I have mentioned or I will mention in class, please have a good understanding of the basic. If you have good understanding of the basic, that what is fission, let's say what is fusion, then you will be at least able to eliminate some of the options. Okay, I'll tell you further in the class. There was this question that was asked this year also and a few years back also, okay, regarding that. So if you have basic understanding, you will be able to eliminate. And again this year UPSC has brought back the elimination thing. Okay, in the previous year papers it was very difficult to eliminate options. Okay, earlier what used to happen, if you could eliminate one or two options, you can deduce the answer. But last year UPSC changed the pattern, elimination method did not work as much. But again this year they have brought back the option thing. Okay, so it becomes important to know the basic idea, like what is flora, fauna, what is atom, what is the difference between atom, element, compound, right? Then again water property, mirror, reflection. Okay, so what are its application aspects? Then all this electromagnetic spectrum, yes, very important, because on all this information technology and all, in your radars and everything, you are using waves. Okay, so all the wave system, electromagnetic spectrum especially becomes very important. Have a basic idea or basic understanding of it. Then again, nanotechnology. What is nano? Small. Tata Nano, yes, small. We had Tata Nano also. What was nano? Nano car was the smallest of car that was produced in India. So nanotechnology focuses on how we can use smaller particles, or smaller particles, when you change the size of the particles, their property changes. So how this change in property can be used in application? What can be the application of it? Okay, what is India doing? Again, what is India doing? What is happening in the world? So all those aspects, like there is with respect to agriculture, we have nano urea. So what is the application of nano urea? How is it going to benefit the farmers of India? Who is responsible for production of it? So everything that is revolving around it becomes important. Okay. This is what I was talking about previously, biotechnology, health and diseases. Okay, so if you don't know the basics of what is the difference between bacteria, virus or a fungus, so you won't be able to again deduce whether COVID was a viral disease or bacterial disease. If it is a viral disease, what will happen? If it is a bacterial disease, what will happen? How should you treat it? When is vaccination required? When does vaccination work? So if you don't know the basic understanding of it, again understanding further aspects of the technological aspect become difficult. So there will be so many words: gene, genetic, genome, chromosome, है ना? So if you don't know that what is the gene is the basic fundamental of life. Okay, whatever life that is surviving in this world, in this universe, the basic fundamental code of it or the reason for it is your gene. Okay, so on that, whatever changes is happening, genetic engineering is happening. So what is genetic engineering? Okay, so all those things are still in the market, they are still under research. So every time anything with respect to biotech, health or diseases again become very alert. Okay. Then this though we have been reading since time immemorial, vitamins very important for human health. Okay, so I'm not saying this will directly be asked in the exam, but yes, you should have a brief understanding of everything. See, this list is not exhaustive. I'm not saying that only this thing will be asked. This is just to give you a brief understanding of thing. Okay, let's say I'm saying health. Okay, I'm not saying only about the diseases, but what is the government's take on it? Is there any kind of scheme for it? Is there any kind of scheme for TB, or is there any kind of particular scheme for immunization that the government is doing? Okay, immunization is nothing but a vaccination. Okay, so is the government doing any vaccination scheme? What happened when, for polio we had universal immunization? Okay, so all those aspects also, not just what is the disease, but always have in mind what is government's perspective, because at the end of the day, you all are trying to be administrators. Yes, so you want to be part of the government, so you have to understand the take of the government. Okay, so always keep that thing also in mind. What is the government steps that are being taken? What are the schemes? Are there any national policy for biotechnology? Is there any national policy that is there for information technology? Is there anything else that the government is doing? Yes, you have to be very, very aware of all of that. Okay. Then again, importantly, defense tech. Okay. Defense technology, India, we all know India is bordered by two not so friendly countries. Yes, or are they friendly countries? No, right? India is bordered by two hostile nations. Okay, so defense protection, or protecting our country from these threats that we face becomes vital. So how can you keep using the technology that was there years ago? No, you have to again amp up the process. You have to again be upgraded with the technology, upgraded with the defense technology also. Every time you see there is a nation, there is a country, so the protection of the country becomes, or the safety of the country becomes vital. And if you want to always be at the forefront of certain things, you have to have better technology. Okay, so here all the technology that is being developed by, especially when you are talking about space, ISRO is responsible. Again, we are talking about this defense technology, then your DRDO will come into picture. Okay, your DRDO, your HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So all this development and research that these bodies are doing, you have to be aware of them. Okay. Then again, moving to nuclear technology. Okay, I'm sure you are aware of it, but still in brief, whatever nuclear technology can be used for two purposes, for peaceful purposes as well as for weaponization. Okay, is weaponization of nuclear technology allowed? Is it allowed? See, countries are developing nuclear weapons, so to say, or they do have a stockpile of nuclear weapons, but it's not acceptable, because the type of disaster that happens because of nuclear weapons, it cannot be reversed. Okay, it will go on for a long period of time, till perpetuity, you can say. So again, this to nuclear technology, peaceful, that means your electricity generation, your power plants that you have, okay, that at the same time about the weaponization of nuclear technology. And we also have, India has a nuclear program also. Okay, so what are the 3 stages of nuclear program we have? What are the byproducts of it? How can that be utilized? What is thorium? Where is it found? Okay, there was a question on thorium also. Okay, so all those aspects. Then again, this information and communication, we cannot survive without this. Nowadays, can you survive without it? Would it be possible? Would online communication be possible? No, है ना? So web, then again in web we are having this AR and VR are nothing but augmented reality and virtual reality. Then again web, the internet and all that we are using, and in web also we are moving forward to web 3. Okay, so what is that? What is the upgrade that is happening in the technology? Okay. Again, emerging technology, cyber security. See, cyber security is in security. Here we are going to read what is the technology upgrade that is happening. Okay, what is the development that is happening. But when I am talking about cyber security, it becomes a part of your GST paper only, but you have a topic called security. Okay, in that internal security is an important aspect. In that, cyber security also comes into picture. Okay, so here we are going to read about the development of the technology, and when it comes to security, there you are going to read about cyber security. Okay, then again the same intellectual property rights that we talked about. Now coming to energy. We know that India is emphasizing, not only India, throughout the globe, we are emphasizing on shifting from fossil fuels to clean technologies, or any technology which is not harmful to the environment. Okay, so for that again we have to have some technological developments to see how we can utilize the renewable resources in a better manner. Okay, so all these energies that you have, like your solar energy, your wind energy, geothermal energy, so how we can best utilize it. Right now, though solar energy is profitable, but there are other sources of energy which are not as profitable as use of fossil fuel. So is there any new technology? What is geoengineering? What are we doing to save climate, or not climate, what are we doing to protect ourselves from global warming? Okay, can technology be used in it? What is artificial rain? Okay, in artificial rain, what are the chemicals that we are using? Okay, so everything that is coming with respect to energy also in terms of technology. Okay, because this thing, if you see climate change or the summits and all that we are seeing, this is a part of your environment. Okay, but if we are talking about technology with respect to this, we will be also reading that, because it will come under your science and tech. Okay, so this was the brief idea of what we are supposed to read, but we have to be very, very aware of the current affairs. Okay, now what are the sources of it? First and the foremost, as I have told you, previous year paper becomes very, very important, and it is imperative and non-negotiable. Okay? If you are starting the preparation, start with reading your syllabus and I am not asking you to solve the question papers. You will not be able to solve it. But what I am asking you to do is have a brief understanding. Achha, what type of questions are being asked? What are the dimensions that are being focused? If one question has come in, let's say 2013, is anything repeating from it? If it is repeating, then why is it repeating? Okay, so all those aspects, or every word that is mentioned in your previous year paper becomes important. Okay, like in in some of the questions or some of the cases, whatever was mentioned in the option, which was a wrong answer or which was a wrong option, on that technique they asked a new question further after few years. Okay, so lot of times students do, okay, I know this answer, correct answer, take the answer and move forward. They don't even have a look at the wrong options that are mentioned. But even the wrong options become important, because that is also an information, that is also some kind of a knowledge, and because it is coming from your examiner, should you not be very aware and alert of it? Yes. Okay, so anything that is mentioned in the options of UPSC papers also become important. Okay, so don't overlook that aspect. Then again, basic sciences, because see, if you're coming from a science background, I'm very sure you'll be able to understand certain things, but to solve a question, you have to be very, very sure. Okay, you might know what is nuclear, you might know what is fission and fusion, but if you have to solve the question, then you have to be very, very particular of what is this and what is not. Okay, so for basic sciences, we will prefer NCRTs. Okay, we have 6th to 12th NCRTs, but 11th and 12th NCRTs are way too elaborate and way too deep. We don't have to go in that. And with respect to 6 to 10 also, if you are very interested, then sure you can go through the 6 to 10th NCERT. But I have mentioned here in the upcoming slide important chapters also. Okay, I have narrowed down the important chapters with respect to your basic understanding and knowledge. What are the things that you should know or you must know? So all those chapters, please read it from the NCERTs, and at the same time I'll discuss it also, all the basic sciences and the basic aspect. Don't be worried about it. And again, newspaper, our current affairs, whatever current affairs are going on, okay. Then we have a magazine edition, okay. So in that also we'll bring forward all the newspaper articles or the current affairs that are important with respect to this. Also other topics also, है ना? And then class notes, obviously. See, one more thing is to everybody who is listening also, that please always narrow down your sources. Don't nowadays you have Telegram, you have so many websites, you have so many things. There is a bombardment of information that is there, but we are not supercomputers, right? We are humans, we have our limitations. So as long as you have completed the aspects of your syllabus, or let's say nuclear technology, you have read from one sources, let's say you have read from my class notes and you have read from the other NCERTs and everything. But beyond that, okay, one, if you don't understand or if there is an issue, 1 or 2 sources maximum. Don't keep on downloading PDF files that come in Telegram. Okay, Telegram will have 500 messages or thousands of messages. Can you read all of that? No, it is humanly impossible, right? So don't move forward into just collecting files or just collecting information. Read, take the topic from the syllabus, read it, read from the class notes, read from the basic books that are there, read from some our magazine, or read any other particular article that you want to read. 1 or 2 source maximum. Once you have completed that, please focus on revision. What students do it, okay, I'll read from here also, I'll read from here also, I'm not satisfied, what if this come, what if that come, and then they keep on reading one topic several times, okay, from several different places, and then nothing can be retained. So my suggestion to everybody will always be, please limit your sources, okay, please keep your sources very, very limited. Now again, what I was talking about with respect to repetition of question, okay, this is a previous year paper, previous year question of 2021 prelims. It is asking, consider the following: bacteria, fungi, virus, which of the following can be cultured in an artificial medium or a artificial or a synthetic medium? Culturing is nothing but developing of it, or it can divide and develop, okay. So that is your culturation. So in this is actually 1, 2 and 3. No need to answer, just have a look at the question. What is the question asking? Artificial medium, artificial or synthetic medium. This is 2021. Now see the question of 2013. It is talking particularly about your virus, okay. Virus, where is synthetic medium mentioned? Point number 2, viruses can be cultured in any synthetic medium. Suppose you are a person who is reading the previous year paper, and by reading it you know that okay, option number 2 is wrong, okay, it is wrong. Now coming back to this, will you not be able to eliminate virus? Yes or no? In 2013 paper, you know that option number 2, viruses can be cultured in a synthetic medium, is a wrong. Okay, is a wrong option. And here again, coming back to 2021, you are again like, virus so you can directly eliminate. So is it not helping you? Is it not previous year paper helping you? Okay. So that is what I was saying, that UPSC's understanding, UPSC's perspective and mindset is very important. And they also know that students have their own limitations. and they also understand that. So they are not going to extremely go beyond it and give maximum questions which cannot be answered by the students. Okay, they keep dropping hints here and there, and we have to be smart enough to catch those hints. Okay, so PYQ are a good source. Okay, then again, the first thing first, everybody, what are you going to do? You are going to have a look at your syllabus and you are going to have a look at your previous year questions. Every time you start a new topic, it can be anything. Please have a look what is going to be asked or what are the things that have been asked by UPSC. Okay. Now again, read the newspaper and link the current topics with science and technology. Whatever is coming in current affairs, anyway, with respect to science and technology, very few topics or very few news come into picture. Okay? So anyway, your burden with respect to science and technology is less. Okay? In that also, you have to figure out, is it fitting in my syllabus or my previous year paper parameter? If it's not fitting, you can skip it. But if it's related to it in some way, you should be very, very alert about it. Okay? Like, we know that every year, Nobel Prizes are being awarded. Okay, a lot of time directly there will not be a question in UPSC that who won the Nobel Prize. Okay, that can come in your other competitive exams like your SSC and the banking exam. But with respect to UPSC, they are not going to directly ask you that. They might ask you about any technology. And in technology also, is that technology going to have a wide ranging impact? And if that technology is going to have a wide ranging impact on human health and society, again it becomes very, very important. Okay, so with respect to Nobel Prize and all, there was this gene editing tool, that is CRISPR-Cas9. We will read it in classes. Okay, with respect to again biotechnology. Anything related to biotechnology, you should be very, very alert about it. Okay, so this gene editing technology was there, which was brought into picture or which was awarded this Nobel Prize. So, with respect to this, again a prelims question was asked by UPSC that regarding the technology, what it is and how it will help. Okay, so there was a prelims questions on this, and here again, artificial intelligence, we all know. Every time, we are listening to this terminology, artificial intelligence. There was last year a conference also in London with respect to ethical use of artificial intelligence. Okay, so how should we use it, or what is the correct way to use artificial intelligence? But in artificial intelligence also, what are its applications? Okay, can it be applied in space sector? Can it be applied in defense sector? Can it be applied in information technology? Can it be applied in any other sector? So what did UPSC specifically ask? With respect to use of AI in healthcare, in clinical diagnosis. Okay, see UPSC, whenever surely it is related to society, possibility of that thing is more. Here they could have asked about agriculture and farming also. Can it be used like smart agriculture? Nowadays agriculture also we are bringing a lot of technology. Okay? You can use drones, you can use robotics, you can use with respect to sprinklers and all also. When is the soil moisture perfect? When should we turn it on, turn it off? All those things is taken care of by the technology itself. Okay, so that artificial intelligence introduced the concept, means again what is that? Okay, the question of what has come into picture and then the application part of it in the healthcare sector. Okay, then again 2022, what is asked? COVID vaccine. Why? Obviously that time COVID was the major news that was there. Okay, we all have gone through this COVID pandemic that was there, which had huge impact on the lives of the people. At that point we did not know, because this was suddenly a pandemic which spread too fast, and the healthcare sector did not know how or what is the type of treatment that we should give. and vaccines were also not available. So this development of vaccine was one of the fastest for COVID. And then again, what are the technologies that were used in vaccine development that were also in news? Even this mRNA technology which was used for one of the vaccine development, that got a Nobel Prize. Okay, so again this vaccine development was an important topic. So that was the question that was asked. What is the principle behind vaccine development and how do vaccines work? And again, what approaches were adopted by Indian vaccine manufacturer to produce COVID-19? Okay. Then again, the next aspect, see this is I am telling you how you should move forward with your preparation. Okay, what is the roadmap for it? First one was have a look at your previous year paper, then whatever newspaper or current topics are there, in that is it fitting the syllabus, is it related to the syllabus, should you read it or should you skip it? Okay, that is how you should be able to skip the topic. Okay, then again, try to link any new technology or innovation to its innovative applications. Okay, whenever there is a new technology in market or there is a scientific discovery, do cover its potential applications. Okay, see if there is a technology, you have developed or discovered a technology, if you are not using it, if you are not applying it, what is the use of it? Yes, okay, the application becomes vital. Okay, so application part should always be taken into consideration. What is your syllabus? In your syllabus you have your economy, you have your polity, you have your geography, you have your history. Okay, so several sectors that you have, or you have your agriculture sector, you have your industrial sector, you have your service sector. See in what sector what kind of applications can be there? In healthcare sector. So whatever technology is come, where can it be used? In which sector can it be used? And in whichever sector it is being used, then what or how it can be used? Is the government bringing anything? That is the little thing that you are supposed to know. Okay. Like for example, this question again, in 2021, the Nobel Prize in Physics of 2014 was jointly awarded to Akasaki, Amano and Nakamura for the invention of blue LEDs in 1990s. How was this invention impacted the everyday life of human beings? Did we not see in the syllabus? They clearly mentioned in the syllabus that science and technology and its impact in everyday life of people. So any point of time, applications also you have to be aware that whether it is affecting humans and how it is affecting humans and society and their day-to-day lives. Okay. Again, this I think I have discussed a lot in detail. Like whatever it is affecting the society, you have to be aware of it, especially with respect to health sector, diseases and everything. Okay. Again here see. Again, what do you understand by nanotechnology and how is it helping in health sector? See, why is health sector so important? Because it has a direct impact on the lives of the people. If you are not healthy, will you be able to come and sit in class? Will you be able to concentrate in class? No. Okay. Even for the development of human resources and human capital of the country, health and education, both. Okay. Converting your human resource to a human capital, you require basic education, skill development, good healthy human resource is required. So again, health sector and agriculture, these two sectors are always focused by your UPSC because it has a wide ranging impact when we talk about India. Okay? In Indian perspective, agriculture is still a major source of employment. Okay, so it cannot be neglected. You cannot neglect that aspect of India. Okay? So here, see, twice they have used two times they have used this health sector. Here once healthcare. So now you know any new technology that will come, if it has an application in healthcare, will you not be aware of it or will you not try to kind of have a note of it? suppose you have made a note of any new technology which is going to be beneficial in healthcare sector. If you know 5 points, if a question comes in mains, will you not be able to write a good answer? Yes, है ना? So that is why narrowing down the concept and narrowing down the dimensions is important. Okay, now coming back, yes, good clarity of general science. Okay, in that general science also we are focusing on NCERTs. NCERTs are important not only for your science and technology, but all the other topics or all the other papers that you have. Go through the NCERTs, have a clear understanding or clear perspective of your NCERTs, especially your history, your geography, your economy. ठीक है, please don't neglect the importance of NCERTs. Of late, direct factual questions from general sciences like physics, chemistry and biology are being asked. ठीक है, see whatever you saw with respect to bacteria, virus and fungi, it is a very basic general science. Okay, but let's say if you feel, no, I to already know na what is bacteria, what is fungi, what is virus, why should I go back and read it? But if you don't read it, even in the toughest of elimination aspect, you won't be able to apply that knowledge. Okay, so please at least this few topics, few concepts that I have mentioned, you can take the list from here. You can ask the reception section, they'll provide you with this list. Class 6, 7, 8, 9, then 10, 12. ठीक है, in class 12, see very importantly again, these 4 chapters. At any given point, if you have very little time and you don't have time to read a lot, I will suggest you all to please go through this. ठीक है, please go through this 4 chapters that are there in your class 12. It is very, very good for your science and tech as well as your environmental understanding. Okay, and I think I forgot to mention one book here. This is class 12 biology book, and there is a class 12 chemistry book also. In that there is one chapter, applications of chemistry or chemistry in everyday life, like how chemistry can be used in everyday lives of people. Because again, everyday life, because generalized exam, we don't have to focus on a lot of research, but the general applications of it. So please, if you don't get it in that list, try to understand or try to write it down somewhere, that class 12 chemistry book, applications or use of chemistry in everyday life. Okay, then again, do not skip space and defense technology. Okay, biotechnology I have already mentioned. Okay, then again, defense and space technology, also any emerging technology, like artificial intelligence is your emerging technology, then your internet of things, your big data, all those new emerging technologies, non-negotiable, cannot be skipped. Okay, recently India's moon mission, yes, Chandrayaan 3. So what is the main task of India's 3rd moon mission, which could not be achieved in its earlier mission? So everybody can be like, okay, Chandrayaan 3 is in news, let us read Chandrayaan 3 and go. But what about the previous missions? You also have to have an understanding why Chandrayaan 2 failed, what was the success that was there of Chandrayaan 3. Just reading the current affairs won't suffice sometimes. If there is something that is there in the continuation in the past, you also have to brush up a little, not go too much in deep, but have a brief understanding. Okay, so that, see here, what I wanted to show you is, in this year's prelims question papers, there was this question asked, which one of the following words or phrases is most appropriately used to denote an interoperable network of 3D virtual worlds that can be accessed simultaneously by millions of users who can exert property rights over virtual items? In last year's class, we discussed in detail about this. Okay? So Even if you have been using your social media like Instagram and Facebook, you must be aware of a term called metaverse. A company, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, ठीक है, and then your all Facebook and Insta and everything comes under this major company. Now metaverse is an immersive experience, ठीक है, and it was a new technology that was launched, ठीक है. So this 3D virtual world, if you had even been briefly aware of what is metaverse, by word association of this, you could have come to the conclusion of it. Okay, to all the online students, your doubts that we have, I'll surely clear it at the end of the class. I'll just take 5 to 10 minutes more and then I'll clarify your doubts, okay? So here, see, big data analytics, the more we'll read in the upcoming classes, you'll understand big data analytics by the word also. Big data, huge volume of data and the analysis of it. So is it anywhere related to 3D? No relation. See, what I am trying to tell you is, even if you don't know anything, how to approach the question. Okay? Because in question paper, if there are 100 questions, you will not be able to know or be aware of all the questions. So you have to do some kind of a smart tricks and smart eliminations. Okay? So here, this is not related to any 3D or any immersive experience or any virtual item like that. Then cryptography, cryptography is you are just converting whatever data is there in a form which is not readable. Okay, that is cryptography. Here also nothing 3D is coming into picture. Then virtual metrics also not there. Now metaverse, you must have heard somewhere and you must have seen the pictures which were doing rounds. So that basic awareness also can help you in UPSC exam. So that is why I'm saying don't be very secluded with your preparation, especially with respect to science and tech. Because science and tech is what? Continuously whatever is changing around you. What is developing around you. History though it has already happened. You can't change it. There is nothing you can do about it. Okay, you have to go and read your books. But with respect to science and tech, have a little awareness of what is going on. Okay. Then again, regarding this radioisotope thermoelectric generator, that is RTGs. This is a news article, a news that came that ISRO and BARC join hand to develop nuclear engine for rockets. That means these RTG or radio thermoelectric generators that are there, that are going to be used in your nuclear engines for rockets. Okay? So any news article, especially with respect to your ISRO, BARC, DRDO or HAL, any new technology that they are developing or they are trying to bring, again becomes important for us. Okay? So this news was there of July 2023 and then this question was asked in this year's newspaper, this year's question paper. Okay? Then again, these two questions were with respect to your current affairs. Yes. And then this question on giant stars and dwarf star is again your static knowledge. Okay. So if you don't have the understanding of static knowledge, this 2 marks is gone. Okay. So you have to have basic static data understanding also. And in these kind of questions, when they are asking you statement 1, statement 2, okay, in these cases, in these cases, even if you are able to eliminate one statement or even if you are able to figure out that one option is perfectly wrong, then coming to the conclusion and coming to the answer becomes very easy. Okay, so I'll suggest you all not to skip questions like this. Wherever wherever they are asking you 2 statements and whether this is one is correct and one explains properly. In these kind of questions, it is very easy to come to a conclusion or come to a correct answer. Okay, so try not to skip these kind of questions. Now, I have included only 5 of questions of this year's paper. There were almost I think around 8 to 9 questions that were asked with respect to this. with respect to your science and technology. Then again, if you are a person who lives at, home, in all the news channels this year, this Rafale is coming to India, and now it is here, now it is at the space station. It was covered so much in detail. So at least, if you are just even passing by a news channel or news is going on somewhere, you must have heard about this term. Okay, MiG, obviously, MiG aircrafts and all, it has been used by India for a really long time. Then Tejas again. So the question is 5th generation. So whenever this news was going on, there was this awareness that these are not 5th generation. So if you know at least that 5th generation is yet to come and we are going to bring it in future, all this becomes nullified. So the answer is directly your none of the above. Even if you don't know what is Tejas, what is MiG and what is Rafale, even if you just know that these are your aircraft, fighter aircraft. This was the news all about India's indigenous 5th generation fighter jet advanced medium combat aircraft. Okay, so even a brief understanding that is there, if you read something, it can be used by you for eliminations of options. Now you know that it is not there in India. India is trying to develop it. For development of that, these are the ones that we already have. These are the ones we already have, and we want to develop something more. So even if you don't know what is what or what are these, just by one source of information you are able to solve your question. Okay, so this is how we are going to approach our science and tech. There was this one more question, I think I forgot to add the question, but it is again on the aspect of how newspapers or things that are coming in newspaper, you have to extract that information and how you are supposed to apply it. Okay, see, science and technology is not exhaustive. It is very direct. Nanotechnology, biotech, anything in biotech, space, defense. So you have clear-cut dimension. You have clear-cut aspect that, okay, these things too you have to. And then UPSC, you cannot say, UPSC is UPSC, they can ask any question that we are not aware of. But maximum, let's say 10 questions are coming, then at least 7 to 8 questions we will be able to solve on the basis of what we have seen today. Okay. See, it's better that you read NCERTs, offline. But if you are a person who makes online notes or who wants to read it online, you can just Google, NCERT class 6 PDF, or on the NCERT website only you will find those NCERT PDFs that are there. So just go and Google, or even if you cannot take it directly from the website, I think there are a lot of websites which are providing this NCERTs that are there. So I think you can get it. Just Google it. Just Google the NCERTs. Okay. Any doubt regarding today's session or any doubt regarding the approach of it? So what are you guys going to do? First things first. At the start of the class, what did I say? What are we going to do? We are going to first take the syllabus. Okay. First and the foremost, take the syllabus. You don't have to do a PhD in everything. You have to have a better understanding of things. Okay. Above average understanding of things with respect to all the topics. Okay. So don't keep collecting data from all the coaching classes from everywhere and then reading everything and wasting time on that. Okay, be very, very clear, very, very particular about your sources and where you are reading it from. Please don't neglect your syllabus and please don't neglect your previous year papers. All things done to all the students, who prepare for this. My one suggestion will always be, please believe in yourself, because there is so many things that goes on around you and self-doubt is very, very natural. It is an extremely competitive exam. Okay, So yes, self-doubt will come on, let's say you're studying for 10 days and then 2 days you will not study at all. That will also happen. And then you will have that guilt also that, oh my God, I did not study for 2 days. Then again that cycle will go on, I'm not studying, I'm not studying. So that will happen, it is only natural. But please remain positive. Okay, you did not study for 2 days. Okay, try to adjust that time frame. Do one day extra in the upcoming days. Will it not be able to, will you not be able to do it? Yes. Please have a positive approach and keep doing your hard work. Okay, hard work never goes waste. If you are very diligent with what you are doing, if you are very honest with yourself, I can ask you to read. I can provide you everything that you need for this. But if you are not putting effort, everything is futile. Okay, so it is very important to be honest with yourself. You know where you stand. You know how much you have studied. You know how much more you have to do. Okay? So we will give the best. We will try our best to provide you with all the information. We will give you all the notes that we can. But you also have to put the effort. It is never a one-way road. Right? We will give the best to you. But the thing is, whatever is provided with respect to the class notes or whatever I ask you to read, let's say, please be very diligent with it. Okay? Read those things and come. And then we will have this, test papers also. We'll take tests. With the help of test also, you'll be able to analyze. Then whatever are the shortcomings, you can always come to me and you can ask, where am I lagging behind? What should I do to overcome this? Yes or no? Whether it is with respect to hard work or whether the dimension that you're going in, if that is wrong, we will try to figure out everything. Okay? Yes? So, PYQ, syllabus, all the class notes and all the basic sources that I tell you to do, and above all, have faith in yourself. Yes? Okay. Thank you everybody for today's session. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.